Hello everyone, welcome to Leading the Fit Life. Our guest here today is Amit Bhattarchjee, ultra marathoner. And since his biography is too long, simply cannot remember the number of ultra marathons he's done. That's why I've asked him to give his own introduction to our viewers.
Yeah, hi everybody. Good morning, Megasi. Actually, I also this question is very funny because I also sometimes forget how many I've done. But I think I did my first ultra in 2015, which was 100 kilometers at Bangalore Ultra, which is one of the oldest event which is still going on, and it's a very trail come roads. I mean, basically trail on the forest. So I had done with Vivek that event, and then again 2016 I did a 100 miler, which is in Run the Run, Kutch. I mean, it was one of the best event. I mean, this is one of the toughest event because of a lot of difficulties, and you run on the almost the Pakistan border and all. So that was really tough one, and so that's the second which I did. After that, I have done Baroda Ultra. That also again is it is a 55 kilometers event, but actually I did it continuously for 2 years, 16, 15 and 16, and the second year I could improve by almost 2 hours. So it's a tough course. Again, it's on the power guard and all those. It's completely trail. So
Okay.
and it is also one of the toughest. And again, it was a UTMB event, so points are also allotted in that. So after that, I did other ultras, but basically now what I do is like I did one 400 kilometers. I did run from here to Mount Abu, which is around 220 kilometers.
Okay.
That was a very kind of a festival event for us because a lot of ADR guys had runners had joined, and we had a lot of people running in between and all those stuff. So it was really fun. And then the big event which I did was running from Ahmedabad to Porbandar. So it's a complete 400 kilometers distance, and we few of us
Was
did
that
it.
the Dandi March route?
No, this is different. This is on the roads, like we started from this blind school. We
Okay.
had actually associated with Sense International, which is who are I mean, it's an NGO, only NGO who works for deaf blind children. So we had associated with them, and that event is very close to my heart because we could raise around 8 lakhs of rupees for the Sense International. So that was one more event. After that, I had a heart issue, which is a lot of people know I had a heart issue, and then I had to again think of running, and then I came back, and then again I did one more 100 miles, which was Nadabet border, up to that Nadabet border from Mehsana. And then recently I've again done one ultra, which is 100 kilometer in SRTL, which is in
Maharashtra.
Maharashtra. So
So here
that's more or
he is
less covers.
discussing 100 kilometers, 100 miles, 200 with ease. But for our viewers, what is an ultra?
Yeah, okay. So ultra is any distance beyond 42 kilometers. Normally that is how it is called. So any distance, no, 42 kilometers is a marathon event. So which is beyond that you do any distance. So that is actually called an ultra, and it can be it can be of two different kind of thing. It can be of different number of hours, or it can be the distance. So basically distance is more kind of a thing which is covered under ultra. So that's
So
how
a
it is.
marathoner who decides that, okay, now I want to run an ultra.
Yeah.
I've run a lot of marathons. I want to
Yeah.
run an ultra. Would you recommend a marathoner starting with, say, 50 kilometers?
Yeah, okay. So it's a very good question, Megasi. Like the most important thing is like you have covered one more thing. Like if a marathoner goes into an ultra marathon, that's most important. It should not be that I have not started running and I have not run much and then I go into ultra running. It is not at all advisable. One has to start very slowly, like 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, half marathon, full marathon, and then you graduate into ultra marathon. That's a very good part which you have covered. So and then again, in the same manner as you are rightly saying, we can have the person can actually go and do 50 kilometers first. I mean, that's how one should try, because that's when you actually learn how your body is reacting to different kind of situations. When you're running at the night, at the day, I mean, there are different situations. Then you get to learn, and then you graduate further. I mean, that's how you build it up.
So, how would you recommend a beginner? Say he decides to start with 50 kilometers. Okay, let's take me for example.
Yeah.
How should I start training?
Yeah, okay. Very good question again. So the training depends on what event you are trying to do. I mean, what is that event you are targeting, and what are the difficulties in that event? That's one point, and also the terrain and all those stuff. So you have to, and then you need to have a lot of time for that, because ultra is not that like it's so easy. Like I decide today, okay, tomorrow I want to do a 50-kilometer run. So it is not possible. So you need to have a very structured and a very thorough and a very time bound training, and then you slowly improve your, I mean, you build up, and then reach that when you do that event. So you need to pick, like I want to give a good example, like for this SRTL, that 100 kilometers, which was one of the difficult 100 kilometers I've done. I mean, it is on, you have to climb Singhar, and then you have to come down Singhar Fort, and then it's all Shivaji's area. I mean, where he was there, Maratha. So you come down again, you climb up to Rajgarh, then again come down, then again you come to Torna Fort, and then again you come down, and then you go up to Linganath. So these are four different hills which you have to cover, and it's a difficult course. I mean, you have to use your hands also to climb sometimes, you know. So that is kind of a, so those kind of situation. That's when I came back, and I realized I tried to do a half marathon, like that day you saw me at doing a half marathon, and again I tried to do a 10 kilometers a couple of days back, and I was not at all able to do well. I mean, I couldn't, like I did. It was quite difficult for me. The reason is I had peaked at that event. So that's very important. So when you are training, you need to peak at that event, whatever event you are targeting. So then so I'm very happy actually, although my timing has not come, I mean, it has reduced, but I have peaked in that event. So I'm so happy about that. So one has to train in a structured manner so that one can reach the peak on that particular race day.
So yes, you do not just decide that I'm going to run an ultra next month.
Yes.
Also,
Very
you
true.
have to follow a structured training
Yes.
plan.
So I normally suggest, like you, if you want to do an ultra, you need to target a year back. So around 2024, a lot of events normally happens during the winter. So like now you mentally get prepared, and you get find out which events you want to do. Then on that basis, you start structuring your training. You start working towards it, so that you actually enjoy the race. So if you don't enjoy the race, then it's not at all, I mean, fun, you know. So it's something like that.
So what do you have when say you're running a 100-kilometer ultra?
Yeah.
Do you have a specific pacing strategy?
Yeah. So that's also very important. See, again, pacing is like, say, if you're running on the roads. I normally so like when we do the road ultras, so road and trail, these are two different kind of this two different training strategies are required, and it's completely different. Like running on, this is a kind of a trail which is there, and the roads are two different kind of so when you are actually running on the roads, then you can actually have a pacing strategy. Like I have seen, like, and then if the distance is very long, say like I'm doing a 400 kilometers, so I can actually build it, break it up into run plus walk, because walk is also required, because people underestimate, or people think it is walk is not a good tool. It is actually a very good tool, because if you are a good brisk walker, and then if you combine walk with your run, then what happens is you actually have more endurance. You'll be lasting for a longer distance of running. So from that perspective, you need to strategize your and then, so like on the trail, what happens is you are not sure how much stretch you will get to run. So you might have to run, then there might be a lot of stones and a lot of uphill and all those stuff. So you need to strategize. So So in your training, you need to see what course you are doing, and then how you. So you need to have walk run as a very good combination, which actually a lot of people when they start walking, and then they can't start running again. So that's the biggest challenge they have. So you need to do those kind of a training for that. Yeah.
Right. So, are is it very common to have injuries when you run an ultra
I would say when you during the event there is a chance of getting a injury. I mean, depending on that track trail,
on the
like
intensity?
yeah, intensity, and like I almost got injured because in this SRTL I had there was a steep downhill, and then I mean people know, I mean a lot of people used to fall there, and I fell and I hurt my, so there was a lot of blood coming out and all, but it was not an injury kind of thing. I could manage, but during the race it can happen. But ultra is something, you know, you are more when you are training, you are actually in your aerobic zone, more into aerobic zone. So when you are running, say like now we are walking, so it is like that. So it is like your chances of injury is very less when you train for an ultra, because you'll be running very slow, higher volume, but you'll be running very slow. I mean that's why the injuries are less.
Okay.
Injury is when, you know, it happens because when you actually do a lot of aerobic running, so like speed workout and all the stuff. So for ultra you don't need to do that much of speed workout, but again the volume you cannot just increase, like say I want to attempt a 550 kilometers race, and then I start doing 30-40 kilometers continuously, you know. So that will actually you will have injury for that. So you need to slowly and easily, and then slowly build up the pace. So that's how I mean your volume. So very important that. So injury is very, chances of injury is very less while you train for ultra,
Okay.
but during the ultra you might get injured. So that's
Okay,
the
okay.
basic thing.
So, what do you feel about cross training during ultra training?
Yeah. So again, for ultra, you know, the more cross training, more important than cross training is, I would suggest, like strength training, because what happens is like you will be running in different conditions, like uphills, downhill, and you need to have a very good core, strong legs, a strong, you know. Those are more important for ultra. So normally I follow an ultra marathoner who is I'm fascinated about his style of work, because he's completely a fruitarian. His complete diet is fruits.
Okay.
And what he says is, when I run, that is my strength training. So he has muscles, he has six pack, everything. So he does nothing else, only runs and completely on fruit. So I also say, like, for strength training is definitely required, but cross training, like, yeah, you can always do that. It actually helps you in your, like, say cycling. If you do, then your cadence and all actually improves, definitely improves. So one, if can has the time to do, then definitely should include cross training also in for run.
Okay, so since you spoke about this marathoner who's a fruitarian,
Yeah.
so what specific nutrition would you recommend?
Yeah, it's see, nutrition is I always feel the first and the foremost thing which we miss out is, like, we need to have a good food, whatever. I mean, we avoid outside food. We just have our homemade food, and focus more on protein intake, you know, because you will be losing a lot of, you'll be doing a lot of volume of, then you need to ensure your protein intake is good. And then you like, although I'm a Bengali, I am almost a vegan. I take, I am on eggetarian, eggs
I was
is
just
what,
going
yeah.
to ask you that.
So my protein also I ensure to build it up, because now I have realized one new thing which is, people are talking, millets has really helped improve me, because for this ultra race, last 7-8 months I have been completely on millets.
I see.
And on millets also, if you go for certain millets like foxtail, it has high protein. So protein and all you need to ensure, and then you need to balance, and then most important thing is you go for natural kind of a food, and don't have to be that much,
Avoid processed
yeah,
food.
processed food, completely avoid it. And sometimes people who take, you know, drinks also, they also avoid, because in our group also we have seen they actually avoid for that, and I tell them also, and then they do it also seriously.
No alcohol.
So no alcohol. Alcohol is just after the race.
Right. Right, right. You can celebrate,
Yeah, you need to
but
celebrate, and
not
then
before the
the
race.
high is more there in that case.
I think after you complete an ultra,
Yeah,
you're high enough.
very true.
You don't need
Yeah.
the
But
alcohol.
actually, in my case, it has never been that. So, like when I did my 22 kilometers, I had ensured that somebody was there standing with a beer bottle.
I
So,
see.
it has happened every time, every race. So, even if it is 400 recent race, they were waiting for me to come back to the hotel, and then we had a good time. So, that's how it was.
Okay. So, alcohol as a celebration
Yeah.
after the race.
Yeah. So, and natural food during your training, avoid outside food. And one more thing is sleep. Sleep is very important. Recovery is very important. So, recovery for ultra training is really, really important. So, one has to ensure proper minerals like magnesium is really, really good, has helped me a lot. So, one has to ensure such kind of minerals are also taken so that your recovery is also faster and you have a good sleep also. I mean, sound sleep kind of.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So, would you agree that ultra running is as much mental as physical?
Oh my God, it's more mental than physical, because physical, as we had discussed at the first instance, until like after you do a marathon, then you go into ultra marathon. So doing an ultra marathon also, you also know, like it's so tough. Like you have recently done it, it has to be more mental, because mental in the sense you are physically, yeah, you have to be training for that, but mentally you have to be stronger. So ultra marathon, you need to be much more stronger, because what happens in an ultra marathon, there will be times when you actually feel like it's a wave, it's a sine wave kind of, like it's like in a marathon also it comes in, everybody also is aware, like in 32 33 kilometers you feel like, okay, I can't go further, like I want to finish off, you like you start cursing yourself. But in ultra marathon it can happen more than once. It can be depending on the distance and depending on the time on the road. So it might happen twice, thrice, four times.
Why am
So
I doing this?
why am I doing this? What is happening? Wow, what the crazy? All the entire world is sleeping and enjoying life, and what am I trying to do? So, but those are the times when you actually need to be very strong, and then
So, what do you
yeah.
tell yourself?
So I always say I always say that the most important thing is you need to keep going. I mean, you just don't stop. Like because those phase, it's like in life. I always compare it with our life. There will be good times and there will be bad times.
Yes.
So during the bad times, you need to control yourself. You need to be there on it. You face it, and when you face it, there is going to be a better time coming in. So I've seen it a lot of times in my race. Like I could get a pace of 5 minutes per kilometer even after 60, 70 kilometers, while I was struggling at 30, 40 kilometers. And I was thinking, why I'm doing this race? So there's a phase. So you will always get that good times coming in. So just like in life, good and bad times happens. In race also it happens. You see it in that. Yeah.
Is there a particular thing you tell yourself?
I always, a very good question, because I always tell myself, the first thing is how it's all connected is I tell myself, before the race, I always have an emotional connect, So I always think about that. So like I'm doing it for a cause or something. So I just remind myself I'm doing this for a cause. And then I want to give an example of Nada Bait, which is 100 miles, which we did. It was during the night we were running, and then there was a bad time. I was feeling like, why am I doing this? Then suddenly I realized, because I was doing that run to for my parents and for my father-in-law we have lost.
Okay.
So I just tried to visualize them in front of me, and I was thinking of the moments I've spent with them and all the stuff. And suddenly within 10-15 minutes I actually got back. So that's what I tell myself, that's how I come back.
So every ultra runner needs to have his or her own mental strategy.
Very true.
Right?
So that's very important. It can be negative strategy also, as I always say. It can be a very negative strategy. One example which is very nice example is where I have a friend in Mumbai. I mean, he wanted to show to his boss that I can do something great. So that's how it can be a negative thing also. It can be a positive. So I prefer positive,
Right.
and
Right.
it can be anything. Like it can happen in your during the race also. Like once I was doing a half marathon, SBI half marathon, which was in riverfront. So I was not enjoying because I just did 100 kilometers and I was struggling. So suddenly I remembered SBI, and then my brother works in SBI. I said, okay, let me dedicate this to my brother.
Oh,
Then again, I got that energy back and I could
okay.
run the race. So,
Okay.
so that's how you have to be mentally doing it. Yeah.
So, as you mentioned that when you tried a run, a 21 kilometer after this, your last 100 kilometer run,
Yes.
and you felt that you struggled.
Yes.
So, how would you suggest an ultra marathoner recovers
Yes. Yeah.
after the
That's
ultra?
yeah. So the most important thing for an ultra marathoner to recover is couple of 2-3 weeks of complete rest.
Hmm.
It really works. There's one there's a saying. I mean, there's an ultra marathoner who has written a book. I don't remember his name. He has his he had held the record of this one of the event in US, which is one of the oldest event. So he gave a very good example. He gave an example of because he is into plantation and all the stuff. He's saying ki if you are planting the same say like same plant you're planting every year continuously, then the production, the yield of that
Yes, yes.
plant comes down. So you need to give it a rest. You need to bring in some other plantation, and then again you do that plantation, then it gives better results. So similarly, our body also requires such kind of rest, such kind of time, so that what happens is like in that case, this then when you come back again, then you happen to do much better than what you did previously. So recovery is very important. You need to. So that's why I'm holding myself. Although I want to run almost every day, but I'm trying to hold myself. I want to recover completely and then go back to ultra. So, but I would say like recovery in an ultra, how you have done the race, what is the distance, that also matters. So like you may not, because in an ultra you don't go much into anaerobic. So like in my case, for this particular 100 kilometers, my average heart rate was 144. So if I had done a full marathon, maybe I could have, my average heart rate would have been 170, 180, So in that case, my heart rate, because of my heart rate, I needed more recovery in that. So ultra recovery will depend on how much effort you have done, how much distance you have done, and how like you have done recently. Like you are not used to it. Like for me, recovery will not be that
Right, right.
long, but for a new runner who has gone into ultra for the first time, will need to give more recovery time. So
Two
that's
to
how.
3 weeks.
Yeah, 2 to 3 weeks is basically it's required, definitely required. Yeah.
So there are just a couple of more questions. One, that you are now also contributing for charity
Yes.
with your running,
Yes.
right? So could you tell our viewers how that works?
Yeah, so that's very important. Actually, we as runners, we can actually contribute in various ways. A lot of runners now have started doing it. We have done it, as I was sharing, when we ran from here to Mount Porbandar, 400 kilometers. That's when we associated with NGO. And if you are attached to that cause, what happens is it actually helps you emotionally also when you do that race, because you are trying for my case, like 400 kilometers, after 300 kilometers or sort, like I was, before that I was managing my I was enjoying it and kind of thing, and then my real struggle started after 300 kilometers. But that's when I started visualizing those, again same I started visualizing those people who were actually supporting, because we have met them. So I was thinking of them and visualizing them. So that's one thing which also helps you. And at the same time, the cause, you are able to spread that message across. I mean, you are doing a social work kind of. So that's also helps. And although monetary is not important, but interestingly, we were also surprised we could raise around 8 lakhs of rupees for that particular event when we did that Porbandar, which is a self run, which was not an event. We did it on own. And recently we got again for this SRTL, this recent event which we did in Maharashtra. We all 18 runners from Ahmedabad, we got associated with again Sense International for deaf-blind children, and we could raise a substantial amount. So it's a it's a good thing. So I think we as runners, we can actually, because we go across, we a lot of people. So during the run also, during this ultra run, I was talking about deaf-blind people, how they are, how the life, what is the support they need, and all the stuff. So I was, so it's a good thing. And then as I said, like emotionally also, when you get connected, then
It
you
motivates you.
it
It
motivates. It's a
keeps you
win-win
going.
situation. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Okay. My last question. What does your family have to say about your passion for running?
So my family understands the kind of
They
uh,
do?
yeah,
They do?
they are not into any kind of marathon and all. They my son has done 10 kilometers a couple of times, but as a family they are always there to support. They are actually, to tell you, because see, if you're not into marathon, or you're not doing, like in your case also, they will not understand the kind
Yes.
of things which happens, it goes through.
Yes.
So definitely they understand, they give me that space to
Okay.
go
Okay.
about. So I want to give a very good example, like when I did this Saputara Ultra, which is 220 kilometers, actually their record still holds with me. So I want to
You want to
so
talk about it?
that so at 200 kilometers, I was, they also had accompanied me with me to the event and Saputara,
Okay.
and they surprised me at after 200 kilometers. They were there, and the
Okay.
last 20 kilometers they were with me on a car, and my daughter also was running with me. Couple of kilometers she ran with me.
Okay.
So definitely family support has been. This time also my wife was there, my
Okay.
family was there in
Okay.
Pune. They had also come.
Okay.
So yeah, the support was always there, but they are not into that much into because
But
they don't
do they
understand. Yeah,
understand your passion?
yeah, they understand. They feel like I'm crazy about it. And since my comeback from my heart ailment, I mean, so uh, I mean, I have been always very cautious, very I always listen to my body. So that's why also they know, like I don't take that much of kind of risk. I always ensure proper training and all. I do proper kind of training and all. Then I attempt. I don't overboard myself or don't go beyond something like. So that's more important. Yeah.
So thank you so much for your time.
Yes. Thank you,
So
Megasi.
you're on Leading the Fit Life. We've been talking to Amit Bhattarchjee, ultra marathoner. I'm Meghasi Bhatt. Thank you so much to the back team, Sumit Jadeja
Yeah,
and
Sumit.
Ronak Shah. Thank you so much for watching this episode.
Thank you.